We're at the Eaton booth with Doug Johnke. We're going to talk about the LifeSense hydraulic hose condition monitoring system for the hose. Could you talk about some of the engineering that went into that?
Sure. A couple of years ago, one of our engineers was in the lab testing hoses, hydraulic hoses, in our impulse tester, and he noticed some consistent feedback that he was getting during his testing of the hose. He continued to test and experiment and found that as a hose approaches the end of its useful life, there is always a consistent pattern of events that occurs, and that we could measure that. And out of that testing, we've expanded, working with Purdue University on a project, we've expanded that technology to the point that we're comfortable launching it into the marketplace this week at Con Expo as a product range where we can actually monitor hydraulic hoses, the health of hydraulic hoses, and report to the user before a hose fails that hose is about to fail and they need to replace it with enough time to actually replace it.
So what's actually going on in the system that makes it work?
Well, there's an electrical signal that's sent through the entire length of the hose, so we're actually monitoring whichever hose we want or all of the hoses on a piece of equipment. And it gives a consistent feedback to the monitor. And when it starts to provide the feedback that we determine occurs close to the end of the useful life of the hose, then we know that hose is about to fail.
It sounds interesting, and it seems like this really started out in the lab. How did you figure out applications and whether anybody would actually want it?
Well, we've done quite a bit of surveying of customers, and to get the voice of our customers, we went out and talked to a whole slew of users in different industries to see if they'd be interested in the technology, and the feedback was overwhelming and resounding that they thought it was an excellent technology. They would like to test it and try it out and see what the value is to their business. And based on the numbers that we've got in many industries and many applications, the value is tremendous to save downtime, to prevent environmental spills, to keep equipment operating reliably for long periods of time. And so there's been a lot of very strong feedback from customers telling us that they're very interested in the technology.
And currently you can monitor up to 11 or 12 lines?
Yeah, right now we've got a wired version of the LifeSense technology where each hose is wired into a monitor, and the monitor can track up to 11 hoses at a time. We are also working on a wireless version that is of even more interest to people, but and we'll monitor more hoses. But for right now, we can monitor up to 11 hoses with one monitor in a system, and of course use multiple monitors if need be in that particular system.
In terms of the wireless, what are some of is it coding? What are some of the challenges why it wouldn't be available now?
The wireless is a new technology in a lot of industries. What we found in looking into the various options are that there's nothing off the shelf that we can get right now that works. So we're at the drawing board, and we've actually tested some wireless, but we've determined that we need to really design something totally new and that works with our applications. We're in the process, spending a lot of effort to do that, and we expect to have it before too long, but it's just not available yet. And we know that the wire works, so
I'm curious, you've been to a few Con Expos and shows like Con Expos, and I'm curious to see 2014, what kind of things do you foresee being on Eaton's booth?
Well, I think the LifeSense technology is just getting traction since we're just launching it. I expect that we would be still expanding on the capabilities of LifeSense into our industry. Our industry tends to be slow to adopt new technologies, and so I think by 2014 we'll still be in somewhat of the launch process with some of the expanded capabilities of LifeSense and the wireless capability, and then linking that message that we're getting out of the hose into other systems, tracking hydraulic systems and what's going on. Plus, with Eaton Corporation, we're capable, and we are a provider of entire hydraulic systems. So there is a lot of work going on with the pumps and motors and other components of valving in the hydraulic systems to electronically monitor and track and support the operation of the hydraulic equipment. And so I think that we'll see all of those things coming together in electronic tracking and monitoring and helping OEMs to become more reliable and productive.
Thanks for your time, Doug. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Steve Berge, Econ Expo 2011.